Patch notes. Destiny 2 update 7.3.6.3 activities crucible. Special ammo meter system changes. Unified all respawn mode ammo point reward values under the previous 3v3 respawn mode point values on average, and now requires less actions to earn the same amount of ammo. Ammo transmats, including the initial one at the start of the game, will now reward 1 kill's worth of ammo, but the meter will charge slightly more than twice as fast. Remove the ability for ability kills to contribute to the ammo meter. Okay. Unify the point reward into 2 distinct groups to reduce variability and make the system easier to understand. New point reward values are respawn modes, primary and weapon kills, 50. Wow. Actions include assists, deaths, zone controls, captures, and heavy ammo pulls. Heavy ammo pulls, 25. Elimination modes, primary weapon kills, 70. Actions include assists, deaths, heavy ammo pulls, 35. And ammo transmat is rewarded when a player has accrued 100 points. Increase preference for spawning near allies in Clash 3v3 for competitive and quick play playlists. Okay, what does this all boil down to? Guys, it boils down to you having more special. Onslaught. Fix an issue where Extinguish was not being cleared properly during a torment or heat wave. Fix an issue where larger enemies teleported behind the ADU. Fix an issue where the ADU batteries could heal enemies when thrown. Really? Additionally, healing functionality when thrown at defenses has been increased. Wow, so Bungie actually buffed that. Fix an issue where players hide from enemies in a spot in the boss room. No more cheese for you. Fix an issue in legend difficulty where the portal to the boss room would not appear after wave 50. All right. So cheese got fixed. The issue where enemies would teleport behind the ADU and instantly just shred it, that hopefully got fixed. And you'll be able to heal your defenses even more with the ADU batteries. Okay. Exotic mission, the Whisper. Fix an issue with the spawning visual effects of the taken bosses. Fix an issue where players would not be kicked to orbit after the timer runs out. Fix some out of bounds spots. All right. Gameplay and investment weapons. Remove the red dot from Tusk of the Boar grenade launcher when aiming down sights, as it was not supposed to have one. Fix a bug that prevented the mountaintop's projectiles from piercing barrier champion shield. I noticed that yesterday, even with Radiant. The brave versions of the Recluse and Hammerhead sights now correctly highlights enemies. Bounty to pursue the Shack's bounty to complete a pathway in Riven's Lair will now correctly count the coil. Edit the description for breaking the charge triumph to make its requirements clearer. In general, fix an issue where the pyramidic vessel ship showed bright flashing lights in orbit. Okay. I thought that was actually intentional. All right. That's it, guys. That is your update for today. Again, we're going to break down God rules for everything as well. Today, guys, Luna's Howl will be dropping for us. And I want to talk about the roles that we're going to be looking for. Granted, we're going to be focused on Pantheon first, but then we'll be making our way to take a look at Luna's Howl. Blast Furnace is the other weapon that's going to be dropping. Magnificent Howl has had a rework where the number of precision final blows before reloading affects the total rounds granted with increased range and damage. Precision final blows with Magnificent Howl active extends the effect for additional rounds. Now, to maintain those stacks, and that's going to be Slide Shot Magnificent Howl, or I guess you could do Subsistence Magnificent Howl, but I don't know. I feel like Slide Shot would be probably, it just depends on the content too. Like this is something that I want to use inside of PvP. Slide Shot, Magnificent Howl together. And yes, Magnificent Howl does work with Lucky Pants, everybody. We will be doing damage testing this week. We'll be seeing exactly what we're looking at in comparison to weapons like Warden's Law, Malfeasance, all of those, right? But Magnificent Howl does work with Lucky Pants. All right, other perk combinations. I think that Heal Clip Incandescent is just too good of a combination to overlook. I mean, that's really, really solid for my PvE players. I mean, I still think I'm going to utilize Magnificent Howl inside of PvE, but Incandescent, Heal Clip, I love it on my Heliocentric. It's going to be fantastic here on this hand cannon as well. You know, and there's other options too. If you want to do something like, I don't know, for PvP, you could do Eye of the Storm, opening shot or something. You know what I mean? Something like a more consistent role to help you in a duel. And if Slide Shot is not necessary, like if that's not, I'm not saying that it's going to be necessary, but if it's not having an overwhelming effect on ease of use, which I believe it will with Magnificent Howl, then I may go Eye of the Storm Mag Howl. You know what I mean? But yeah, you'll be able to get the 2-tap. Now, we played with Magnificent Howl the other day on Not Forgotten, and it is nice when you get those bullets stacked, but it's not the easiest. You know what I mean? I mean, you still got to get kills to get this going. And so that's why Slide Shot's really nice, because you're not technically reloading. You're reloading with the slide, and it should not cancel out or have any issues with continually proccing Magnificent Howl rounds. But something that is not the easiest to proc inside of PvP. I'm going to try Subsistence. I think Subsistence can work too. Yeah. I mean, either one of those probably can work really well. But this is what I'm leaning toward. And then like for PvE, if this actually does work, I'll go like a Pendant Mag or something. kick our max size up to 12. Helps us out even more. So, but yeah, those are the combinations I'm looking at. Heal Clip Incandescent, Slide Shot Mag Howl, and then maybe an Eye of the Storm swap off. And if it gets to the point where it's like, I just want to use this as just a 140, not with Magnificent Howl, who knows, man? I may do Opening Shot, Eye of the Storm. All right, Blast Furnace. Look, back in the day, this was the weapon. Mainly due to the fact that aesthetically it's beautiful. Secondly, it had the Rasmussen scope, of which it still does have. And I think Zim Moment was always the play we always had with this weapon. Now, in that same column though, like I would normally go Zim Moment, but in that same column for PvP players, we have Headseeker. And, you know, you could do a Headseeker rapid hit combo, and with it being a 4-round burst, aggressive burst pulse rifle, you'll be able to get 4 stacks of rapid hit within a single burst. And yes, it will feel extremely stable. Part of me wants to overcommit though to a damage dealing perk, either like Rampage or Kill Clip, something to just really buff the damage alongside Headseeker. Is it overkill? Probably. I mean, it probably is going to be overkill. The other side of things, kind of like Luna's Howl, it's under a lot of competition with Midnight Q being so good. Blast Furnace, it's under a lot of competition from Elsie's. Elsie's pulse rifle is really, really good. But I don't know, man. It really is just going to come down, like, we're going to have to just play with it. You know, we could do steady rounds if we want, but I'm probably going to do like accurized rounds. And the handling's already 24, so I don't want to hurt the handling. So I may do accurized rounds and like chamber compensator with a ranged masterwork. That puts us at 99 range. We're already hitting the cap. That puts us at a recoil direction of 75 if we want it, which is already, that's really solid. And the only thing it does hurt, it gives us -5 handling, which is unfortunate. But if we didn't want to go that route, we can always just tack on, you know, small bore, or like, you know, actually small bore doesn't do anything. It's to the range here. If we got accurized rounds, a polygonal rifling, we're just going to fill it out, man, and see just how the weapon feels stability wise. Are we able to get the consistent 2 bursts or not? And then if that's the case, then we just go to Pound Town with like a damage dealing perk, like a Kill Clip Headseeker roll. If it feels stable enough, dude, it's going to be 2 burst city like all day long. Always go Arrowhead. Yeah, I was hoping to tack on a little more stability. My concern with doing that, yes, the handling does go up. Yes, this cranks up to 95 recoil direction. You don't even need a counterbalance mod. My only concern is 64 stability going to be enough here? Because again, what made the OG roll for Blast Furnace so nice was Zim Moments. For my PvE players, is this the first aggressive burst pulse rifle? I think this is the first aggressive burst pulse rifle that we have that can roll kinetic trimmers. And it says right here that it can proc in 11 shots. That's only 3 bursts. That's only 3 bursts here. You're going to be able to proc kinetic trimmers faster. And I don't know. I don't know what we're going to pair with it. You could do Frenzy. You can do, you know, Desperate Measures, Rampage, One for All if you want Firefly too. We had some overlap before. Yes, you can double proc like kinetic trimmers and you get the precision kill with Firefly. It's not the easiest thing to proc together, but you could. I think kinetic trimmers One for All might be the way we go, because if you're driving a bunch of shots into a high health target and then the AoE procs and then other targets are around that gets hit by that AoE, that will proc One for All. So for PvE, I think this will be the role that I'm probably going to chase. Blast Furnace has a big history of being a very dominant pulse rifle. We'll see if it lives up to that, and we'll see if it can beat out the competition. For those wondering, because we did a review on Tusk. At the time when we did a review on Tusk, Deconstruct was not working the way it was supposed to be working. You would have to go for direct impact hits. And then Bungie finally reworked it to where when you did hit 3 enemies with the wave, it would refund ammunition and it would put it right back in. So you could literally just shoot over and over as long as you were hitting groups of enemies. I would definitely advise guys. I mean, look, I like Hatchling, you know, especially since you can stack up Hatchling with Rebirth. Chain Reaction is getting a nerf for special weapons, but Deconstruct is something we've been utilizing a bunch. You know, you get Deconstruct going with Unraveling rounds and you could just shoot back to back. It's phenomenal. Here's the problem though, for my people trying to stack Envious Assassin with Deconstruct. It works, but only on the final shot. Meaning if you overload your mag size and you're sitting there with 3 grenade shots, Deconstruct is not going to proc until you're at your final shot. Till you get to 1. When you shoot, that's whenever Deconstruct will proc. So it won't proc on shots 3 and 2 with Envious Assassin proc. So in that case, you may want to do a slideways thing, because Deconstruct will be working. If you didn't want to go slice and apply sever, you could be in a situation where Deconstruct is procking, and in the moments where it doesn't proc, just slide. Now, slideways doesn't re-proc. It has a cooldown, where slide shot has a very, very small cooldown. You can immediately proc it afterwards. And so you can't just slide every single time. But Deconstruct is going to be procking, and for the moments where it doesn't proc, you could go slideways. Slice makes tangles too. Okay. Yeah, you're right about slice and tangles. I may go for another roll. I have an Envious Assassin deconstruct roll, and it's pretty solid, but I may go for a slice deconstruct roll. But guys, Tusk of the Boar, Iron Banner is here. So I would also advise going after this one as well, okay?
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.